Yes, everything.
I always forget to start recording. Okay. So, I just wanted to go through like the process again one more time because I think we missed the mental um review part. So on Saturday, Viviana was supposed to like check everything after you both have approved each other's PR. Viviana was supposed to like look through it, or me, depending on the week. So it's always good to like ping the mentor at the end of every journey. And journey that I mean is you've made your PR, the other pair have reviewed and approved and made changes and everything. And then when you're ready to merge, it's always good to like ping a mentor to have like a final look, and they can bother around probably code improvement, because at the end of the day, it's not, the point is not only for your code to be working, the point is also for you to like understand the best practices. So it's not the method that will tell you, oh, this is working, but you should probably, this is a better way, as seen in real life production level code that so many people will be using. This might not really be efficient in the long run. So that's why, yeah, it's always good to like allow the mentor to. But aside that, I really like how this week went. Like you guys really took charge and then delivered. Everyone was like taking charge of their own stuff, reviewing, commenting, approving and everything. So it's a very good week. We'll talk more about it during the retro. But yeah, nice work, guys. I'll pass it over to Viviana now for the demo.
Okay, nice. So I think we can start with issue 6 if you are ready to start sharing.
Is issue 60 sharing the list? I forgot our number, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it our okay,
No,
I'll share this.
sorry. Is issue 6 is invite other people to the list. Yes,
Yeah,
it's this
sure.
one. Okay, cool.
Okay, so okay, you can see the screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's also this like Zoom panel visible here inside of the screen, or this is just for me?
For you
It's just
only, Eva. Yeah.
okay, good. It's okay.
Yeah.
So it is okay. So here I'm in homepage and I'm logged in already. And here, so this is a test list that I created under my account. And if I go to manage list, here's basically the form that we added to invite another user to share our list. And yeah, so we just type in the email here and then we click on invite and we get a success message that it has been shared with the other user. And then here's the original test list. Clicked on it, and if I try to share it, it's not gonna work because it's not my list. And then again, if I put in email address that doesn't exist, then it is not gonna do anything either. And yeah, that's our feature. We've already tried it, tested it with them, and once we tried both to share our lists that we created, and we could see each other. So yeah, I guess you'll have to believe us. That works. And I don't know if you wanna talk through the code or. I
I
should do it.
can.
Yeah, okay. Just tell me where I should go. I'm in the-
Manage list, yes,
Yep.
here. So first of all, Eva implemented the front end part. Then form and input part. She added, this email and button. Then I implemented the backend part, handle add user submit. So we import a share list from Firebase, and line 3, and then we define handle add user submit. Line 49. Yes, if form add user not in the input, you will see a message enter a recipient email. Then we implemented try catch and finally method. Yes, there is a we are using await to call share list. So user ID and format user here. If everything is success, you will see a success message. Otherwise, you will see an error. If error, you do not have permission to share this list, or the user with the provided email does not exist. Else, failed to share the list, please try again, which you Eva showed to you. And finally, we will reset the sets form at user state. So empty, make empty email. And then yes, where is this share list? It's a bit, here. So Eva, can you explain here, you updated error path, right? Error lines.
Because originally here, where there are errors, they were just returned. So for example, if the user wasn't part of the app, the function just returns, doesn't do anything. So I was thinking how to connect this one with the front end. So the only way, but I thought would be to throw an error, then this gets then passed to front end. And this was the same. There's just return here. So I provided like a error message that fits the scenario of what happens. And then I added in the end additional return. That's basically the success message that gets then shown to the user if the other user is invited successfully.
Can I say where you called the share list function?
It's in manage list, and this is the function to submit the form, and we it's here.
Await share list.
Okay. Nice. I like how you threw the errors. That's advanced coding right there. It's actually nice so that you can access it in the error object. That's an elegant way to do that. Well done.
Thank you.
I have one question which I wasn't sure, so I just wanted to maybe to understand better the Firebase. I wondered if for every method that does something with the Firebase, like for example submitting a document or pulling data or something, or updating, does it always have to be await here, or does it depend on the different scenarios? Because for example, for the share list function, which is here, the await wasn't originally there, and I don't even remember like if it worked or not, but I just added it there, and I'm just curious, like, would it work without the await, or should I maybe try it to see if it works? Because I don't have like I just don't understand exactly. Sometimes when it's necessary or not. When we are handling with promises,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a
So the update doc, where is it from? Is it straight from Firebase? Is it being imported for Firebase, or was it written here? Can you scroll up? I see origin.
yeah, it's a Firebase function or method implemented here.
Okay.
So yeah.
So yeah, it's any function that is supposed to like handle an async operation, it's always good to await it. But it's also possible that the await is being done like under the hood, because this is like they call it SDK, like it's already a prepared function by Firebase team given to you, you know. So the only thing you have to do is just like call it, apply, give it every single prop that is required, and then wait for the result. But yeah, if once it involves doing an asynchronous call, making a DB call, API call, it's always good to await it, because it doesn't happen immediately. So a lot of things can go wrong, you know. So await is just you telling the code to like, please run this function, but wait for it to come back before you go to the next one. Like where you're returning, where are you getting the recipient's email from? Oh,
it's part of
same.
here.
Okay. So I know why the await was not there, because you're not really waiting for anything. You're not waiting for you're just saying, okay, just update the doc there. Update the doc there. Why the await was not there before you came is because they are not expecting anything back from the database that they are going to use. Like, for example, if the recipient email was coming from the DB, like as a result of that update function that you called, you know, you have to await it, because the recipient email will be empty if you don't wait for the update doc, you know. So the await there is not really doing anything per se, because you're not expecting anything back. Do you get? That's probably why it was working before, whether it's there or not. But it's always good. It's good practice to like wait. That's also how you know whether there was an error or not, you know, because if there was an error and you don't have the await and you just call update doc, meaning please go back to the DB, add this function, but don't wait for that function to come back. Just run line 156. So the user is going to see the list has been successfully shared with so and so, even before the update doc is done running. So if for any reason it brings an error, the user has already seen they have successfully added, but it failed eventually, you know, and that becomes an issue. And then the user is now also seeing an error, like successfully added, oh, this thing was not added, you know, and it's like, which one is it? But when you wait for the asynchronous call to happen, you're sure that it was successful before showing the success message, you know. So yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I have a question about the link. The deployed link is not updated when I checked. So what is the reason of this? Because if I share my screen, I will share localhost, but I check our issues already closed, but the deployed link is not updated.
You quickly share your screen. I have an idea why that is happening. It usually happens because it's about browser caching and everything. So when you had
Maybe
reload,
okay.
when you had reload,
Here is
localhost.
yeah.
So are you on Mac?
This
Is this Mac or Windows? Windows. How does
Windows.
Windows hard reload? Try. Do you have Shift on Windows? Try Control Shift. If you have Shift on Windows, Control Shift
Control Shift
R. Is it there now?
No, I need to see our invite address. I can try here maybe. Yeah, here.
It's there now, right?
Yes, it's yeah. It's strange. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Now
it's the
it's
browser.
working.
You know, the browser has a way of caching your format. Like in the browser's mind, nothing is changing, you know, until you do the hard reload or change tab or do whatever,
Okay.
just to tell the browser that this is a new link I want to visit and there has been an update, please update, that kind of thing. So it's usually the browser situation, not your code.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Nothing else from me.
Okay. Becca.
I also wanted to ask them, are you using Google Chrome or another? Okay, cool. Because
Chrome,
I
yeah.
don't
Mainly
I don't
Chrome.
generally, okay, I don't generally have that issue, but the thing is I'm trying to take notes, and to be completely honest, I did not get what the issue was with the function. What you were going the feedback that you were giving, Chiamaka. I'm not sure I understood that, and I would like to ask again if that's okay, because I got
Their
lost
weight?
in my notes. Yeah,
You mean their weight?
yeah.
Oh, okay. So async await is usually used when you're making an API call or when you're just like running a function that is not immediate. So when you use async to start the function, use await to wait for the result. So await means when you run, so you know how the JavaScript stack works, like it executes from top to bottom. So the first line is probably let name equal to Chamaka, and then the second line is an async API call. Then the third line is console.log Chamaka, like that in that order. So JavaScript, when it's executing, it will run the variable let name equal to Chamaka and set that in memory. Then it will go over to the function API call. And then if you don't tell JavaScript to wait for that API call to conclude, it's going to go over to the console.log. Like it's not going to wait. So await is a way of telling JavaScript, please, when you run this function, wait for it to resolve before going to the next line. Especially when you're expecting some, like if you're fetching probably like items from the database, you need the items to console.log it in the next line. But if you tell JavaScript, okay, if without the await, JavaScript will just run, go to API, go to the database and fetch this, don't wait for it, go to the next one. When you go to the console.log and you're logging data, data is not back because it's still making the API call. It's not even, it's empty at that point, it's null, you know? So when you use await, you're just saying JavaScript, do this API call, wait for it to come back. If it's successful, go to the next line. If it's not successful, go and run the catch block. So that's basically what they were doing there. And that's why she wanted to understand, like, this await, is it doing anything here, you know? So it's usually used when you're expecting something from the database and you don't want to skip that line. So just wait for it to resolve. Simple. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I really like how you handle the different error messages in your code. So great job with this feature. We can continue with the other one, the one for the filtering items. Whenever you are ready, you can start sharing.
So let me go ahead. You should be able to see my code.
Yes.
Okay, cool. As mentioned, I originally wanted to create a new component and sort of like place it here and do much of this in there. But as Tato very elegantly put it, this was a more efficient approach. So hold on, should I go to the deployment? I'll show you the code first, and then go ahead and show you the web page. It was very simple. We used search item, a handle search, to include here to handle the search once we rendered it, and then use the state again to clear the search and filter the items. So right. the issue requests to include a form. So that is what we did.
So
Here's
how
the
we
form.
sorry, Becca.
Go ahead.
The other that will really like help us to follow along better is usually like to go to the browser, show us a little bit what you're supposed to do, the issue, then demonstrate the issue, then show the code. That way we are able to like, okay, I remember what you're trying to do, then how did you do it? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
usually
then
starts
let
from
me do that.
browser.
Let me do that right away. Okay, now you should be able to see my browser.
Yeah.
So you have to be signed in, first of all. You go to the list, you go to the list view, and it's not there. This is great. This is not embarrassing at
Reload.
all.
That's exactly what happened to them. They tried to hard reload. Control Shift R, Command Shift R.
There we are. So that doubt has been solved, and we've learned something new. Okay, so you're signed in, you go to the list, and you select your list and go to the list view. You click on the search item, and I can start searching any letter. Does anybody want to go ahead and suggest a letter? Just any letter. Okay. B for bananas. So we have 3 items with B. Then I go further, and bananas are filtered. I click on the X, and my search is cleared. Now, you will notice that you still have the entire list in view on top of the filtered items. And this was a discussion that we had because we thought, well, what if you're looking to see if a certain item is already on your list or not? You don't want to have to stop looking at the list. You want to be able to compare the filter items against the entire list. And as far as I'm concerned, this wasn't necessarily all that clear in the issue, which I can't find right now.
Go to closed. The closed. Yeah, there.
Right. A form added to the top of the list view above the shopping list. And the form should include the following elements. Text field with a semantic label, which narrows down the list as the user types. And when there's text in the field, some kind of button to clear. And when the field is cleared, the list is resetted to the unfiltered state. So it is, unless somebody read something that I didn't really see the need to eliminate the entire list. And I think it's actually quite useful, or we thought it was actually quite useful to have both lists, the filtered one and the unfiltered one, to compare to. And the X clears, and that's about it. So I'm gonna go ahead. Yes, please go ahead.
No, it's okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and share my the code, my other screen now. Tata, do you want to intervene?
So one person was supposed to share the live demo and then the other person share the code.
Sorry?
I thought one person was supposed to share the live demo, then the other pair partner shares the code, the workshop code.
Yeah, that's how
Oh,
it's supposed
sorry.
to be actually. Except if you like plan for her to share and then you speak if you're not supposed to share your screen. But yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
Thank you. I wasn't aware of this.
Okay. Let me just say, I am having issues with my machine. I don't know why. I was doing some repairs on it earlier, but I think I should be able to share regardless. Okay, someone else is still sharing.
Should I go ahead and share it?
Yeah, just go ahead and share it. I'll just walk through the code. Okay, just scroll to the top. Okay, so since we wanted to search through items in the list, we use the state variable search item to be able to update to get the items which are being searched automatically from line 5. That was the initialization of the state variables. We use the handle search function to get each input. As you're inputting the value, the search item, it's getting updated, and we set the search item to be equals to the value which you're inputting, as in the letters. We use a clear search function just to reset it all to be an empty string. And the filtered items function, it filters through the data that is being fetched. Yes, on line 16, filters through the data that is being fetched, converts the names to the lower cases, and then it includes all the items, all the letters which are in the search item variable, also converted to lower cases. Yeah, and then we have the form with the label as stipulated by the issue, and the input field. On change, the input runs handle search. So as you're typing and changing, it updates the search item. The value is equal to the search item. We have this conditional here that will display the button to clear the search only when you have started, only when there exists a search item. So if there's no search item, the X button won't show. When you start searching, the X button shows to clear item. Yeah, and there is a list, an unordered list to show all the items. Like she said, thought we thought to leave the items that are still there at the bottom of the list, not just to eliminate them completely. So as you search, the list of all the match according to that items. Yeah, that should be
But that,
it.
I'm sorry, I don't know if anybody else is having the same trouble as I am, but could you repeat the last couple of sentences you said? Because we seem to have a little bit of interference in the audio.
Okay, from where did you stop so that I could know where to start from?
I think from here to here is fine.
Okay, so I said we had a conditional such that between the search item and the list, that the list of items we filtered, as in the items you're searching for, so that as you start searching, it filters through the filtered items, the recommended items that you're searching for in the list. They are being displayed in this unordered list, this UL down here. So they will always start being displayed when you start searching, else all of them would have been displayed from the beginning. So as you start searching, it starts displaying the ones that match exactly with what you're searching from the beginning. Yeah, I think that was it. Okay.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. So I think I find a bit confusing to have a true list, because in my understanding, I think that the filtering functionality is pretty, like, how to say it, self-explanatory, so if I find that if you type an item there and the list get empty, is because the item is not included in the list. But I understand that you might have another opinion on that, so I think that this can be discussed as a team here. Like if the whole team thinks that the implementation is right as it is, it might be like your choice how to display the filtering. So yeah, the only thing I want to mention, I find that your implementation is working nice, so the filtering is well implemented, and that is pretty cool that you use the filter function there, so that is cool. And the only thing I wanted to mention is that I see that you include the list, the first list, the filtered list inside the form. So I would choose to put the list outside of the form, like as a list independent of the form, just as a suggestion for or better organizing the HTML in the in the view. But that is again a suggestion for you. So feel free to keep it as you think. And I don't know if anyone has anything more to say about this issue.
So for the still showing the list during filtering, I can understand their thought process, and I think they were actually thinking about the user when they made that decision. My only worry is knowing how the application will end eventually. We are going to have like a checkbox, a delete button, and then beside each of the items. So I'm just like thinking, how is it going to be then when as they are filtering, they have Apple, they are searching for Apple, they have Apple up, they have Apple down, there is a button to check Apple, there's a button to delete Apple, and it's going to be up to like how is it going to work then? That's just what I'm thinking about, but I'll probably suggest maybe when it gets to that time, you can still like assess the situation, consider what you had in mind to help the user still have a look at their list while filtering, does that still help the user at that point, So at the end of the day, if you're building like a UI, you're having the user in mind. So when it gets to that issue where you're adding the delete button, the checkbox and everything, doing everything to the individual lists, so just like assess it again as a team to like know if it still makes sense in the interest of the user to show all the lists in addition to the filtered list. That's my own suggestion. You don't have to like make any decision now. Like as your app is growing, as you're adding more features, you can reassess the situation in the best interest of the user, and then take a decision. It shouldn't be hard. It's just like to remove the other one. And then I also saw where was it Eva that talked about the X. When you, like I was telling you, Becca, the HTML input is built in such a way that if you use type search, it will give you like the close clear button automatically. So it becomes an issue where you're using the type search and then you're also adding an X. So when somebody that has that enabled in their browser, when they are searching, they get to see two X's, and it's like, it's now two double. So my suggestion would be like to remove the type search and probably change it to type text, and then use the other one you added. That way, everybody has one X, it won't appear two for some people and appear one for others. But aside that, it's working really well. It's an elegant feature. Well done, team.
Thanks. I did want to ask the mentors, because I think you have a longer view of where this is going, whether the filtered list and the entire list to be visible at the same time makes sense or not. And we had discussed that in the eventuality that the completed list is not necessary, we just move that block of text just downwards, which was one of the, this was actually one of the points that we were pretty cut up, because we weren't sure how to present the filtered items, whether like in a different format or anyway. So we decided to homologize it or harmonize it with the list item component, so that in any given case, like you said, we can reassess and just move that chunk of code a little bit downward.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good. I think that is correct that we can like wait and assess this when it becomes a problem if it does. So that is right as it is now. So any other question, suggestion, or anything about this feature? So I think we can continue with our retro then. So let me share the link.
It's in the chat already.
Okay, cool. So let's go there and take 5 minutes to complete it. And then we come back to share it.
Becca, you add your item by just clicking on the add item button under each of the columns on GitHub. Can you see the button? All right.
Is everyone waiting for me? I'm being super slow. I'm really sorry. I'm figuring this out. I think I screwed up. I didn't sign mine. I'm noticing that everybody signed theirs.
Okay, no problem, no problem then. So you can just say that this is yours. Are you ready? Are you done? Yes? Okay, cool. So Chamaka, do you share your screen with the retro or shall I share mine?
You can share.
Okay. Give me just a
You can do the
second.
picture and I'll do the issues.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't understand.
Is it me?
Okay. Okay, cool. So are you seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start here with appreciation, Tata. Do you want to share, Tata? What do you write? Really grateful for the understanding of my peer partner for the week, Becca, and also for the efforts of our mentor, Shamaka, in helping us, especially given that I was initially unavailable for the first 2 days of the week. Loved the fact that she tried to be flexible with her program as well as we collaborated sort of well on our issue for the week and eventually solve it. But really happy for the community I'm feeling through. Nice. Go ahead.
Um, okay. Sorry, initially I was having issues on muting myself. Like I said, I really wanted to thank Chiamaka and Becca for understanding this week. I had some personal issues at the beginning of the week. I was sort of unstable. They got to me and they were really understanding. They didn't take it otherwise because I was normally supposed to have gotten to them earlier and said I might be somewhat unstable for the first couple of days. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that. And also Rebecca throughout the week. Now it's just during the meeting I found out that she had job interviews, and that was why she was busy. Because I was actually wondering why her time slots were really complicated. I was like, but now I actually understand. But she was actually pretty flexible with somewhat flexible with her time, and she really tried to make it work so that we could actually collaborate and work on the issue and eventually close the issue. Yeah.
Cool.
And also, I'm happy for the vibe of the community, just like the community vibe I'm getting. People taking care of each other. It's making me happy.
Yeah, I also love this at the Collab Lab. It's really
Yeah.
cool. Eva, here.
No, mine. I forgot to mention my name.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So I appreciated the good teamwork. We are I'm happy to collaborate with Eva, so I can say thank you to Eva. It was a good teamwork, and yeah.
Cool, thank you. Next one, also without name.
That's me. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was also happy that I got to work with them for the first time, because this is the last team of our member of our team that I haven't worked with yet. So it was nice to get to know her a bit, and yeah, I think we were on time and everything, so we're happy how this week went.
Yeah. Okay, Chamaka.
So for me, shout out to the team. Everyone really, as usual, we came together, we overcame different challenges, and we're able to work on our issues. Everything works well and fully merged before the meeting. So shout out to Becca, especially for standing in for her team, even though she's relatively new, even though she couldn't reach her pair, she was able to start something that's supposed to be for like 2 people. She got it working to a reasonable extent by Wednesday all alone. That's a good team spirit. So shout out to Becca for that. And also to Eva and Didiam for really a smooth and good collaboration this week. Like, it was pretty straightforward and good for them. On GitHub, you could see each of them contributing, committing to their that's like really how we love to see it. And so shout out to both of you for that. And then to Viviana for also doing the review this week, the office hour last week, and generally for just like showing up for the developers. I'm so happy how everything is going, and yeah, shout out to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Shamaka. So for me, the same. Congratulations for everyone for the great work done so far. It's quite exciting to see like the app is growing and everyone is getting more like engaged with the repo, and everyone is contributing there. So that is, yeah, pretty good to see. The next one, I guess, is Becca. So
You mean the one without name? Yes, that was me. So first of all, this is my first retro, and it's the first time I experienced anything like this. So it's actually, so I want to posthumously, or like after the fact, sort of appreciate this exercise, because I didn't really know what was going on, or like what should I be typing. I think this week that those please correct me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. That those approach was a lot simpler and more elegant than mine. I encountered a similar issue last week with Eva, where I tried to over-engineer things, and it generally is the simpler and more sort of like toned down approach that actually gets the job done, and sort of like made it easy for us to sort of harmonize both approaches. And it also taught me that sometimes that you just have to, like the way Chimaka was mentioning at the beginning of the call, that you're so hell-bent on doing things one way or your way, and oftentimes you learn the most and achieve the best solution by just letting go and sort of like taking in what is being sent to you. I think that really went well, and that wouldn't have been possible without those input. And yeah, the learning part of the process, which I think is the most important one, was certainly respected. That they didn't come in and sort of like erase everything and write his code. He was very respectful about that, and I appreciated that very much. That is what made the learning process possible.
okay, thank you, Becca. So let's go with what went well. Here, Tata, again, if you want to start.
Okay, so what went well?
Sorry, there is a bit of noise from your side. If you can repeat, please.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
With respect to what went well, like I said, I and Becca, we had some differences in our approach to solving the problem. Um, and I'm actually grateful that we really worked on trying to collaborate because, like she even said, her approach was actually not bad. We actually tried to work on it initially to try and make it work, but it seems we had to pass too many props. So I just suggested that we use ours, and I'm actually grateful that she agreed. Other people would have been somewhat the type. I actually know the feeling of, it's my code, something you've worked on for some time. Changing isn't easy. So I'm actually very grateful for that, in the fact that we could work on it and collaborate. It's really nice collaboration. That's why I mentioned the community feeling.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Tata. Let's continue here.
Next, me. So we successfully implemented our task on time. So we finished on time. So our communication was good. Also, Eva helped me in Firebase error method. So I am really appreciated with this. Yeah.
Thank you. Eva, here.
Yeah, so this week I think went really smooth with our feature. We didn't have any major hiccups, and yeah, also the communication was just really good. So I think the whole week went really well for us.
Yeah, sure. This week, I don't know if it's from Becca, maybe. This week left me with a great deal of learnings. Yeah, it's you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Very much in line with the appreciation post. Yeah, in the end, we ended up coming up with a solution that we were both happy with, and we could learn from each other's approach. Yeah, I think I'm afraid I wrote the same thing sort of twice, but it actually really worked well. So we're happy about that.
Cool. Good to hear that. Chamaka.
Yeah. So what went well for me is the features are working. Despite everything, the ACs were met, your features are working, the deployed production link is working as expected. And I also noticed that communication was much better this week than last week. So yeah, that's a good improvement.
Yeah, thank you. So the same for me. I see that there is an improvement from previous week, and also this week we managed as a team to close the issues on time, merge the PRs. So that is really great. So let's go with the what could be improved here. Sorry. Here, Tata.
Okay, like I said, my communication and time management had some personal issues at the beginning of the week. It would have been more ideal if I had communicated earlier to let the other people I'm working with know that
Sorry, I can't hear you. No.
Can you get me now?
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Okay. So I was saying that my communication and time management at the beginning of the week could have been improved. I got more time towards the end of the week and I was more flexible. But initially, I didn't like the fact. I reflected on it that it wasn't good to just be quiet for 2 whole days where your partners and your mentor were actually waiting on you. And also my communication and understanding with Becca. Like I said, I never knew of her program of getting the interview and whatnot. So because I was actually looking for some time slots where we could further work on the issue. We didn't have as much time this week as maybe, let me say, the other week. It's now actually why. through the code more and whatnot. So yeah, but like I said, still happy at the end of the day. It was actually pretty good, and I learned a couple things, and I also got corrected.
Okay, thank you. Didem?
Yeah, I can say only I couldn't check our Tata's and Becca's PRs. Maybe I can improve my time management so I can support the other team. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Chamaka?
So for me, what could be improved? I still think we need more improvement in the area of communication. Obviously, example how Tata wasn't reachable the beginning part of the week, and because Becca was relatively new, I kind of expected the person she was paired with to kind of take the lead somehow, just like how Eva did last week, just so that she finds her way around and she's not like it's not so overwhelming for her because we came here before her, so kind of taking the lead and showing her around kind of, so it turned out being the opposite. She was the one like trying to run around, get things together and stuff. That's good. That goes to show us how I always refer us back to the application process. Like we always try to like tell you what the expectations are. We do 1 hour meetings every Sunday. We expect you to have like 5 hours during the week, so that when you come in, it's no longer an issue of do you have 5 hours? It's now an issue of how does your 5 hours match with my 5 hours? Like how can we combine our 5 hours to come to a good time to meet and then work on our issues. So that kind of affected the dynamics a little bit, but I'm also happy that we kind of the letter made it to work. And that is good now. But I think our communication could be really improved. And also the issue of, I don't know if we created the threads late last week, but I noticed that you guys didn't really use the thread a lot this week. As we said the other time, like the threads help us to know what's going on. For example, if I read your thread, Becca, and I found out that you were trying to like get across to Tata and he wasn't responding. If I saw that earlier, like around Monday, Tuesday, I probably could have reached out to him probably through email, or I could have reached out to him earlier, but I didn't know what was going on because I didn't know what the communication was until you told me on Wednesday evening. That was when I found out. So it's always good to like use the thread. That's how the mentors pick in and then see what's going on. If is everyone available, is the communication going well? Can we chip in? Or the discussion, where is the discussion going? Are you working with something that is not correct? When you're like trying to go a wrong way, so to say, we can also jump in like, oh, I've been following your discussion. This is the right way, this is the better way. So the thread, even though we tag the two pairs, it's actually for like both all of us. You see how Didem mentioned that she didn't follow the other pairs uh issue this week. So it's also aware of the other team or the other pair picking in to see how it's going. What is this pair working on? What is it about? What have they done so far? The application is for all of us, that we get to work on different parts of it each week does not mean like the other people don't want to be interested or don't want to know what's going on. We also want to know what's going on. So working in the thread is aware of like carrying everyone along, so to say. So I encourage us to use the pair. We'll try to create immediately after the meeting so that you don't have to wait for us before reaching out to your pair to set up a meeting. That way we follow the conversation. And then the issue of raising a PR, I think we greatly improved this week, but I think we are not there yet because knowing when to expect the PR will also help the mentors to plan when to check. For example, Viviana is traveling a lot, so when everyone has in mind that by Thursday, the PR is going to be up, by Friday morning, probably the other pair should have been done, so that by Friday evening, the mentor should be ready to check. That way you plan your life. I, for one, the weekends are so packed for me. Like Saturday morning is like the last time I'm reachable, kind of before Sunday evening, the meeting. So I always like to do my own review Friday night or Saturday morning. Anything from there, it's like I'm out and about. I'm not even with my laptop until Sunday evening. So you see why it's important to like have a structure of when to expect the PR, when to expect the mentor to review. And it also goes for your pair as well. Like last week, Eva was traveling. I think she traveled last week, and that was during the weekend. So if we made the PR earlier, she could have reviewed it on Thursday or Friday before her travel. So it makes you to be able to like predict what the week is going to be about, so that you can also plan yourself. So I think if we target Thursday for PR, latest Thursday night, Thursday evening, you can be able to make your PR, which is why you try to do the office hours on Wednesday, so that you work on it Monday, Tuesday. By Wednesday, if you're blocked, we'll treat it in the office hours. Thursday, you make your PR, and then Friday you review, Saturday you merge. So I think that will help us to like plan very well our lives, and then to also like be more productive. I don't know what you guys think, but this is like what's coming to my mind right now. If it's okay with the rest of the team, of course. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, thank you, Shamaka. So here, the next one is communication could have been proactive. Who is?
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to make this as succinct as possible. Communication could have been more proactive rather than reactive to avoid stagnation or skewness in the workload. Basically, it was actually what Chamaka mentioned. I think that if we communicate clearly and more proactively, not rather waiting for the other part of the pair to react or whatever, or get in touch in the first place, sort of like, I think it is a lot more efficient to work sort of like with coming up with a solution in mind and being mindful of the fact that we're in a very wide variety of circumstances, and our time slots can look very differently. If we sort of like make suggestions about either what we want to include in the code, or whether we can or cannot meet, or because this week our time slots were so complicated that we weren't able to coincide as much as we would have liked to. But if we had waited until we were both available, we would have never ever been able to solve the issue. So I think a proactive communication that is also solution based and propositive will yield a lot better results.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Becca. Next one is Eva.
Yeah, so yeah, as Jamak already mentioned, I feel like the final phase of the issue every week is kind of always we never manage to do it exactly according to the workflow. But for example, this week we submitted our PR on Friday, which I think we could have done it earlier if we tried a bit harder. And also we didn't tag Viviana to merge to review it finally, because I forgot about it. Yeah, that's one thing. And the other thing that I would also like to get a better grasp of working with Firebase Firestore and the structure of our database. So this wasn't an issue that would block work on our feature, but when I was looking through the Firebase document, it's still a bit confusing. Like there's like all these creating snapshots of documents and collections. So, but I assume that it's gonna come later during other issues when then I have better overview of the database work.
Okay, thank you, Eva. So for me, it's this. I think also that this week went much better than the previous one, but we still have room for improvement in the process, as everyone mentioned before, and also in using Slack a lot for communication, like asking there and talking, yeah, mentioning everything there, so everyone can later refer to previous conversation. So, you know, as you never know when someone is going to have the same problem or the same question that you have. So it's always good to have it like all the information available from everyone in the team. So yeah, I encourage you to use Slack a lot, so we can, yeah, share everything there. So I think we are done. So I will stop share here.
Thank you so much, Viviana. I actually like the retro session. It's just like it's doing its job, which is just like going through how everything is going and then ways to improve. And I actually like our team. We are really working very hard. We have everyone is enthusiastic and everyone is anxious, you know, and really interested in making things work, which is like the best attribute to have in a team. That's the only guarantee that the team will succeed. And I really see us going in the right direction. So well done, everyone. So I'm quickly going to go through issues 8 and 9. So 8 says, as a user, I want to see a welcoming prompt to add my first item if my list is empty to help me get oriented to how the app works. So summary, when a user starts a new list, like when they are brand new in the app, they need a little guidance on how to get started. So think through what you would want to see as a user and then make some intentional user experience decisions that will guide our users in confidently adding their very first item. So the AC is the list view when there are no items to display, should show a prompt, example, a button for the user to add their first item. So this one is pretty straightforward. Like when they come for the first time to the list view and the page is blank, you know, when they don't have a list, it's just like the search bar and then every other thing is blank. It's like, so what happens next, you know, that kind of thing. So we kind of want you to like guide the user on what to do next. And then what to do next is to add their list, add items, you know. So that's what this issue is about. Like show them a button, a prompt, a text on what to do next. That's basically it. So Eva and Tata, do you have any question? This is your issue for this week.
Maybe in the text it talks only about the list view, that there should be prompt to add new item, but should we also do it on the home view then to have like a prompt for adding a list as well?
Yeah, that actually came to my mind. So when you come originally, you have the sign in button, then after that, nothing else, right? When you come initially, yeah, then I think you should also add it in the home page. You should also add it in the home page because then they see the sign in button and then they sign in, what next? You know, everywhere is blank. So yeah, I think the prompt should also be in the home page and then the next page. Yeah, good question. I should probably add okay. We are late. I'm going to add another AC here after the meeting, but let me just quickly rush over issue 9. As a user, I want to mark an item on my shopping list as purchased, so the app can learn how often I buy items. Okay, so this issue is about users needing a UI that allows them to mark their items as purchased. You know, the whole essence of this app is knowing what to buy next. So a user should be able to like tick a checkbox when they buy an item as purchased, you know, so that we already have next purchase. I think Eva's team worked on it previous week. So this one is just about the list component renders a checkbox with a semantic label, and then checking off the item in the UI also updates the date last purchased, and then the total purchases that we already have in the Fire store. This is already existing, it's just a matter of like updating it. And then the item is shown as checked for 24 hours after the purchase is made. That is, we assume the user does not need to buy the item again for at least one day. And then after 24 hours, the item unchecks by itself. Then the update item function in Firebase has been filled out and sent updates to the Firestore database with an item when an item is checked. And then there are notes here. While you need to update multiple parts of the Firestore document for this feature, do not worry about the date next purchased yet. So take note of that, and then you can use the Firestore console to test. I know we all have access to the console, so you're going to use it a lot for this feature. You're going to be able to, how do I go to overview? How do I go to the console?
I think one of those icons there,
One of the icons, project set.
yeah, below like the storage of
Firestore.
this one.
So yeah. So these are the parameters that you update. Total purchases, you update it. Date last purchase, you update it to. I think the one they said you shouldn't touch is date next purchased. Let me be sure about that. Date next purchase, that you don't need to update that now. And then obviously you can come here and manipulate the date to like backdate it to 24 hours, so I can test this particular AC, this third one, where they said you can't uncheck until 24 hours, you know. So yeah, that's what this issue is about. I recommend you read it very well after now and then digest it. And obviously, if there is any question, please reach out to us to explain better. Do you have any questions for now? That's Becca.
I don't know for now. I don't know. I don't have any question for now, but maybe later, yes.
Yeah, it seems like a lot, I know.
Yeah.
So just digest it for now. Check what you already have, and then if you have any questions, we'll discuss it on Slack. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
And I'm really sorry for taking so much time. I think it's because we had a discussion at the beginning. It's not going to happen again. We're going to try to at least late by 5 minutes latest, not 27 minutes. So sorry about that. Is there anything else we're missing? Is there something else we need to discuss as a team? Are we forgetting anything? Nothing, right? Okay. Viviana is shaking your head. So sorry, team, for taking so much time. We're going to see you on Slack, and if there's anything, please let us know. Like, we are always looking out for messages on Slack. Don't feel like you're bothering us. Don't feel like you're disturbing us. We're actually expecting it. Okay, so just like tag us, ask questions. If we need to get on a call, we're going to get on a call. We all want to make this a success, so please take advantage of that. Okay, all right. Bye,
Thank
team.
you,
Have a nice
everyone.
week.
Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.